Welcome back to the JBlee Weekly channel, everybody, where we talk about all things of the superhero variety, and today we're going to talk about Doctor Strange 2. This movie is getting a little bit insane with the amount of rumored cameos. I mean, it's like legit wacko. Wait, what? They released a new trailer? I gotta write another freaking script. Okay, so I had a video planned talking about, rumored cameos and things to be true or false and how I think it would affect the MCU going forward, but we will combine that video with this trailer breakdown really quick. So in the trailer, you get a good look at some nice, new, juicy stuff that's coming up in this film. Hey look, even Black Widow has a cameo. Doctor Strange talks about having the same dreams every night and how he did everything that he had to protect their world, which I'm guessing he's referring to No Way Home. Which is somewhat confirmed when Wong says that when he opened a doorway between universes, they don't know who or what walked through, like all the Spidey villains and the Spideys themselves. And hold up, wait, is that Hugh Jackman? Oh wait, no, that's just a huge Jackman, sorry. He goes to Wanda asking about the multiverse, and she says that Vision had theories about it, but it was dangerous, which can't be true, right? I mean, Multiverse of Madness, that's such an inviting title. Baron Mordo actually shows up and says that him breaking reality will not go unpunished, as he puts him in handcuffs and takes him to a room full of chairs in front of somewhat shadowy figures, but one of them speaks up and it's Patrick Stewart! Woo! Now, he was rumored to be playing Professor X again in this film, so I'm hoping that this is where we get to meet the Illuminati. For those who don't know, the Illuminati are a group of Earth's heroes that come together in secret to make the big and hard decisions for the good of the planet, basically. Typically, those members are Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Namor the Submariner, Black Bolt of the Inhumans, Professor X, and Reed Richards. You could say Captain America as well because he was technically part of the Illuminati, and I think T'Challa was at some point, but we'll just leave them out. Now, if this is the Illuminati that he's being brought in front of, that would make sense, right? Like, he broke the fabric of reality and causes all kinds of mayhem. Yes, unintentionally, but still. So it would be perfectly likely that the people who are specifically supposed to stop threats against their Earth and, in quote, I guess, their universe would, likely bring forth the person who is responsible for breaking it. Either way, I'm just super excited to see Patrick Stewart return as Professor X again. Then you get a small clip where there are dinosaurs around, which could be the Savage Lands from Marvel, and this could be their way of bringing it into the MCU. Now, I don't know if or why they would bring the Savage Lands into the MCU, maybe to have the Kraven the Hunter movie that is supposed to be part of the MCU take place there to some extent, but we'll just have to see. Then Doctor Strange meets up with Dr. Evil, Strange, and then Wanda is fighting someone who I believe is supposed to be either Superior Iron Man or Monica Rambeau as Captain Marvel, despite me wanting it to be the Human Torch because I heard a little rumor that the kid from Brooklyn was going to be the Human Torch in this movie. It's not very likely, but it would be hilarious nonetheless. Because can you imagine the interactions that they could have if people like Wanda or Strange see this man that looks exactly like Steve Rogers, but then he catches fire and throws fireballs and flies around? Like, that would be hysterical. It's like any guy who looks like this is gonna get superpowers at some point regardless of what universe he's in. Then you have what looks like a heartwarming scene of our Wanda having sympathy for the other Wanda, I guess the evil Wanda, after the evil Wanda told Strange that he broke the rules and it made him a hero, but when she does it, it makes her a villain, and that's unfair. So I'm curious if that other Wanda also went through the same thing like in WandaVision showed and had her kids taken from her, and she's been basically scouring the multiverse to try to get them back but hasn't succeeded. Probably doing evil things along the way, but that would just give good merit behind her resenting Strange for manipulating the multiverse and her doing the exact same thing. Also allowing Wanda to have a touchy moment with her because she knows how it feels to lose her children. It's just a theory. Then Shumagorath and Wong are having a smackdown when the camera does like an epic zoom into Wanda's eye. Then in the next scene, we get a look at Zombie Strange using magic, and Zombie Wanda is supposed to be in this movie as well. And I gotta say, he looks freaking dope. He looks like Doctor Strange plus Mr. Sinister plus Omega Red and plus Null or something like that. Now, there are some cameos that have been rumored that are not confirmed by this trailer. But the list of cameos or non-confirmed illegitimate rumor cameos that may or may not be somewhat close to being an absolute crock of feces is getting longer by the day, and some are just little ludicrous. Like Henry Cavill playing Hyperion. That would be super dope, but it's highly unlikely. Hyperion is basically the closest thing Marvel has to Superman, so Henry Cavill coming to play basically the same character in another universe would be a middle finger to Warner Brothers on how they treated him and his character. Again, unlikely, but it would be hysterical. Quicksilver from the Fox universe is rumored, and I would love that, so if he isn't in it, I'm going to be kind of disappointed. But with the events of WandaVision, I kind of doubt that's going to happen. And not that I won't enjoy the movie if he isn't in it, but I'll be kind of disappointed in the fact that he's not there. Kind of like my father when he went. Now, there was a rumor that Tom Cruise was going to be playing Iron Man, like the Superior Iron Man, and wielding a couple of the Infinity Stones and having a Thanos head in a jar. Now, there have been a few images from this trailer that have come out that's basically confirmed that this is going to happen, where he is going to be playing Superior Iron Man. And if he is playing Superior Iron Man, and, that was the Illuminati earlier in the trailer, then that would be a great place for him to be introduced because Iron Man is part of the Illuminati, so put him in there. So him playing Iron Man is not 100% confirmed, but it's almost there. We're like touching the finish line with the tip of our finger. The one I want the most is actually Ghost Rider. Not really the Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider, but someone new. Like everyone wants Norman Reedus, that would be kind of dope. He's just one of my favorite characters in all of Marvel, so I just want to see him in full display in the MCU. But not like Robbie Reyes. I'd like either Johnny Blaze or Danny Ketch, but that's just my personal preference. Now, despite all of these cameos, I do think there's a certain reason behind Marvel doing it and not just the nostalgia bait from all these past characters coming to modern films. With Marvel obtaining the Fox properties like Fantastic Four and the X-Men and all of these lists of characters, we've been wondering how they were going to be incorporated into the MCU. Some of these characters go back quite a long time. I mean, Charles Xavier and Magneto, those both have a lengthy history, like Wolverine, Sabretooth, Apocalypse, or even the Forever Man who just dies and is reborn like a phoenix. No, not Eugene Grey, not the same Phoenix. But there are some characters with lengthy histories in their character's backstory, so I don't know if there would be a good logical way to bring them into the MCU without the multiverse. Mutants can't just be hiding for centuries and then pop up out of nowhere and there's millions. I heard one theory a while back that everyone had the mutant gene, had that gene activated when the snap happened on Earth in Infinity War or in Endgame because of the amount of cosmic energy that it put off, which is a cool concept. But again, if you have them just being created in modern times, that just completely destroys the character's history. So I think the reason that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is really happening is to possibly have characters come into the main Marvel universe that have already existed in their own universe. I don't imagine when Marvel does a Fantastic Four movie in the next few years, it will be the same sort of origin story like they do with the Fox properties and again with that remake. But we won't talk about that movie. Yeesh. I think they would rather do some short reiteration of how those characters were created and just move forward with more stories and try to avoid the thing that every Batman movie seems to do and just show us his parents dying again and again. Like how Spider-Man Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home became technically the origin story of the MCU Spider-Man going forward, they could just do the exact same thing with the Fantastic Four. Already established characters that brush over how they get their powers briefly but then just move forward with new adventures. Now, I don't think that they will be bringing characters through one of America Chavez's portals back to the main Marvel universe. I think it will be more like universes are collapsing or being shoved together or something along those lines so that all of these characters and aspects can be brought to the main Marvel universe without it being character by character basis through a legitimate portal. Like when Doctor Strange opens that door and is floating through the unknown dimension or maybe a space between realities, it could be the remains of a collapsed universe or the doors of multiple universes that are just breaking. What would be really interesting is if towards the end of the movie, Wanda is actually the one to break the multiverse and makes it collapse into more of a finite number rather than it just being an infinite number of universes. Everyone's probably seen the comic panel of Wanda saying no more mutants and erases all of the mutants except for like 200 of them, right? So what if, next episode of what if Wanda, instead of saying no more mutants, said no more multiverse and then collapses a ton of them into one of only a few remaining universes, being one of those being the main Marvel universe, and that is how we get mutants in the Fantastic Four and so forth. That would be an incredible show of power for Wanda and set the stage for the next few years in the MCU. But what do you guys think about all the rumors so far, and what are some of your favorite or least favorite rumored cameos? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to sub to show some love and know when I upload more superhero related videos, and as always, have a marvelous day.